Welcome, welcome to another episode of The Watchman. We are here to encourage. We are here to empower, to educate, to equip, and to edify. Got started a little late, but we are started nevertheless. I want to thank Minister Brian Ely for coming in and spending time with me. Sister Danielle Spencer, my daughter Tatiana's online. My bro, Eric Alexander. My sis, Arnitha Pryor. Hey guys, this episode is going to be power-packed. I am going to give you guys some things you already know and some things that you don't know. Now, let's go over the housekeeping rules again. Number one, I am a very, very strong believer in Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior. I believe He died on the cross, shedded His blood for my sins, and rose on the third day. Very strong, very strong. My beliefs cannot be wavered or shifted. But another thing is, the phone lines are open, which is 816-200-0078. You can call in with any comment based on the lesson, the broadcast, based on what we're talking about. I will not argue the scriptures. I know I'm not always right. I'm not 100% right. I am human. I can be wrong. Randy Cheadle, bless you for coming in, man. Bless you. But you can have your opinion. You can say your opinion. You can type it in. You can call it in. It makes no difference to me. Because I know that everyone would not believe what I'm saying. That's okay. I will not tolerate profanity. Any profanity, I will cut you off. I'll block you out. But let me put this out there. This may be a 2, 3, 4-part series. Because there's so much information, there's so much truth that 1 hour or hour and a half or whatever time I'm allotted, or I decide to stay on, is not enough time. Not enough time. So I'm going to break this down in maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 parts, because it all flows together. Now, I'm going to put this out there right off the bat. Number one, I'm not racist. I'm not prejudiced. I am not a Hebrew Israelite. I am not going that road. I am not going that route. I am a true believer of Jesus Christ, who is my Lord and Savior. Jamie Taylor, bless you for coming in. Who is my Lord and Savior. So therefore, as I get into these lessons, it's going to look like part of the Hebrew Israelite jargon. It is, but it's actual truth. It's actual truth based on what's going on. Now, I need to get off into this. Nene McKinley, bless you for coming in. Bless you, sister. Now I need to put my glasses on because I'm doing a little bit of reading tonight, because this is powerful. Okay, now I know that everyone would not believe in what's being said. I don't expect everyone to believe it. I don't expect anyone to look at it and say it's truth. But what I do know is from my studies, I find it to be true. Now, I want you guys to like and share this, because because somebody need to hear this. They need to see this. Somebody else other than yourself needs to see this. Please share this on your page and share it with others, because when we get deep in this thing, I want them to get every bit of piece of information that's out here that I'm presenting. And I want all who is on here, all who are listening, all that may listen in the future, get your pencil and your paper, your pen, your paper, your typewriter, your cell phone, your computer. Get this stuff together and take notes, because this stuff is powerful. I want you guys to take notes so when this is over, you can go back and fact check what I'm talking about. Just don't take my word for it. I want you to go research for yourself. And when you find out that it is true, I want you to pass it along to somebody else and tell them, hey, this is the truth. Now, I believe that the way society has become, the way things are, the way they are, is spiritual. It's spiritual. For the fact of it is this here. The Bible puts out there what God expects us to do as a people. In Deuteronomy 32, it speaks about the curses of being disobedient. Those are the first stepping stone of disobedience of what's going on. Now, we have driven far away from the Bible as a culture, as a people, because of the fact of how people was treated and how people came to be in the places that they are. Sister Sandra Wing, bless you for coming in. Now, I believe that one of the reasons why society has become so hated, so hateful, is because of lack of understanding. Because the Bible does say, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. If you don't know people, if you don't know a certain person, you're going to misjudge them and assume that they're a certain way that they're not. Until you learn someone, you will not understand them and you will not appreciate them. Now, in saying that is, the African American race have been misunderstood, misrepresented, and lack of trying to understand us is one of the reasons why we're in this predicament that we're in today. Let me help you out with that. Because as the African American race, we are the only race that does not have a country. So therefore, our heritage that was bestowed up on us we were stripped of that. So as years went on, it got buried so deep that we have adopted other people's ways, other people's lifestyles, other people's agendas, versus staying the way we were, because we were stripped of who we were, so we don't know who we are. So by us not knowing who we are, we have adopted the philosophies of other people. Now, I'm going to present some facts. I'm going to present some truth. I'm going to present this stuff biblically, archaeologically, and geographically. I'm going to present these things to you. So as you listen, those who are not of African American descent, I implore you to listen, to take notes, to get a better understanding of the African American people. Once everybody get an understanding of the African American people, then unity can be formed. Because Rocky Bond, thank you for coming in, brother. I believe I'll see you Friday, my friend. Because of the nature of the Jews. The nature of the Jews. And like I said before, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I'm not converting. I'm not transforming. I am staying a believer of Jesus Christ. I'm staying a believer of God. I'm staying a believer of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. That's his Hebrew name. I'm a firm believer. I'm going to stay that way. But the truth is the truth. Now, I ask you the question, as you see in my comment, can you handle the truth? I want you to ask yourself that question. Can you handle the truth? Now, if you do not want to listen to what's going on, I would ask you to go ahead and leave. I will ask you to go ahead and just dismiss yourself, because this is going to get deep, it's going to get heavy, and it's going to open hearts and minds. D. Patrice, bless you for coming in. Thank you for joining us. Now, this is one of those times where I believe, I think that this may be the beginning of my demise, because I am putting out there information that now is out there, but not necessarily want to be talked about. Okay, now let's talk about the what's going on. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. As I put my glasses on, like I said before, I'll be doing a lot of reading tonight from my notes. These are my notes that I typed up, and they're not copied, they're not printed, they're not somebody else's notes. They are my notes that I typed up myself through my studies. Amen. All right. Now, here we go. Current people claim to be Jews, but are not Jews. That is in Revelations 2 and 3. Check it out.
The speaker is Mr. Benjamin Friedman.
Claiming to be Jews. Here we go.
The speaker is Mr.
It says in Revelation 3 and 9, it says, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan,
Mr. Friedman is a former Jew,
that
and I
they
mean
are
former
Jews
Jew.
and are not,
He has fought the communist world,
but do lie.
and nailed,
Behold,
and stands today
I will
as
make
a leading
them come
American patriot.
and worship before thy
Now
feet,
take you to the speaker's
and to
platform
know that
present
I have loved thee."
Benjamin Friedman.
Well, they're saying that there's a people that call themselves Jews, but they are not. That's Bible. Look it up. Look it up. Revelation 3 and 9. Fact check that. That's Bible. I didn't make that up. There are people that are calling themselves Jews, but are not. It's a lie. Okay. Now, they don't and they don't call themselves Israelites. So if they don't call themselves Israelites, they call themselves Jewish, like Jewish, you know. But if they're not the real people, then who are? If they're not the real people, then who are? And like I said, I'm going to present evidence that will be biblical, archaeological, and geographical, that the current so-called African Americans and others across the world, the Latinos, the Caribbean islanders, and all that were caught up in the slave trade, were called Negroes, which are the real Israelites of the Old Testament. Like it says in Jeremiah, the Song of Solomon, it describes a people. It describes a people, and the scriptures give a description of Jesus Christ. It gives a description of Yeshua. And it says in Revelations 1, 14 and 15, his head and hair was white like wool,
He has fought the communist world
as
conspiracy to
white
send
as
nails
snow,
and stands today
and his
as a
eyes
leading
were like
American
flame of
patriot.
fire,
We now take you
and
to
his
the
feet
secret platform to present
unto the polished
Benjamin
brass,
Franklin.
fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
The Zionists and their
His voice
co-religionists
was a sound
rule.
of many waters. Now that is a description of this.
The speaker is Mr. Benjamin Friedman.
That is a description. Let me fix that picture, because that is a description of what the Bible is put out there about what Lord Jesus looked like. Amen. Right there.
The
There we
speaker
go.
is Mr. Benjamin Friedman, noted authority on Zionism and
Revelation
all of its schemes.
1,
Mr. Friedman is a
14,
former Jew, and I
5.
mean a former Jew.
which
He has fought
it
the
says
communist
that
world conspiracy
that,
to send nails, and stands today as
head
a leading American patriot.
and hair was
We now
white
take
like
you to
wool,
the secret platform to present
as
Benjamin
white
Friedman.
as snow, and eyes were as of flames
The
of
Zionists
fire,
and their co-religionists
and his feet unto
rule
polished
this
brass,
United
as
States
they burned
as though
in a
they were
furnace,
the absolute
and his
monarchs
voice was
of
a
this
sound
country. Now you
of many
say,
waters.
well, that's the very broad statement.
Now, both scriptures are in Revelations. One saying that there's a people that call themselves Jews, but they are not. And the description of Jesus Christ, of the man in the book. We're talking about the book, y'all. Talking about the book. Once again, I want to bless Linda Allen. Thank you for coming in. Vincent Gridiron, thank you for coming in, brother. Courtney Richardson, thank you for coming in. D'Angelo, my nephew, what's up, brother? Bless you for coming in. Now, so if that's the case, then the original people had to have been the Israelites, which had to be of that color. So if in Jeremiah and in Solomon they are talking about the people, the description of the people, then if they're not the people, who are the true children
The speaker is Mr. Benjamin
of
Friedman,
Israel?
noted
These are the
authority
12
on
tribes
Zionism and all of its schemes.
of Israel.
Mr. Friedman is a former Jew.
Now, like I said
and
before,
I mean a former Jew.
I am not
He has
a
fought
Hebrew
the communist
Israelite.
world conspiracy to send
I am
nails,
not
and
converting.
stands today as a
I am
leading
not
American patriot.
transforming.
We
I
now
am a
take you
true
to the
believer
secret
of
platform
Jesus
to
Christ,
present
Yeshua.
Benjamin Friedman.
Yeshua. I am standing my
The
ground.
Zionists and their
But the
co-religionists
truth is
rule
the truth.
this United States
Because
as though they were the
as a
absolute
people,
monarchs of this.
as a people, we have been set up just to be knocked
The speaker
down.
is Mr. Benjamin Friedman, noted authority on
Been set up to be
Zionism and
knocked
all of
down.
its schemes.
Which
Mr. Friedman is a former
is very, very heartening, because we was brung over here against our will, stripped of our land, stripped of our heritage, stripped of everything, but yet and still we're the most hated. Why is that? Why are we the most hated if we have no place to call home? Maybe it's because of our heritage. Now, when I present this information, I don't want anyone to start talking about hating people. It's not about hating people. I promise you. It's not about hating people. It's about coming together. Because let me show you something. Let me show you something here. Because let me go back to this here.
The speaker is Mr. Benjamin Friedman, noted
These
authority
are the
on
tribes.
Zionism and
Now,
all of its schemes.
I want you to listen.
Mr.
I want you to
Friedman
look
is a
closely.
former Jew, and I mean a former Jew. He has fought the
The
communist
10th
world conspiracy tooth and nail.
on the bottom
and
row,
stands today as a
the
leading
second
American
picture,
patriot. We now
look
take
who
you
they
to the
are.
secret platform to
The
present
tribe of
Benjamin
Asher.
Friedman.
Look who they are.
Zionists
Keep that in
and their
mind
co-religionists
as we go
rule
further.
this
Because if you
United
look at this,
States as though they were
all
the
nationalities
absolute monarchs of this country.
are in the tribe of Judah.
Now
I
you
mean, in the,
say,
in the 12
well,
tribes of
that's
Israel.
a very broad
Not Judah,
statement to
the
make.
12 tribes of
But
Israel.
let me show what happened
All
while you were.
nationalities. So
I don't
how
wanna wear that
can
out.
one hate
Let
another
me show you what happened
if
while we.
we all have lineage? So it's not about hate. It's not about hate. It's not about not liking someone. It's about knowing the truth. Once again, the lines are open. If anyone wants to call, the number is 200-0078, which is 816-200-0078. I would like for you guys to share and like this. Share and like this because this is going to get deeper. Like I said before, I think that this may be to further my demise because of the fact that God had told me to get prepared for persecution. And I am prepared. I'm already being persecuted right now. I'm already being blackballed right now. I'm already being ostracized right now. But do I care? I do not. Because my motto, I say it time and time again, for God I live and for God I will die. For God I live and for God I will die. Now, we have to understand that when we speaking about the children, the true children, we got to go a little deeper and look at it like this here. In Acts 3:25, it says, "Yea, are the children of the prophets."
Friedman is a former Jew, and I mean a former
Yea,
Jew.
are the children of the prophets. Now, this is where Peter was telling the people while in Israel that they were the children of the prophets, and the covenant and the promises belong to them. Then I researched, and I was looking. I'm like, who are the children of Israel? Then I went back. Then I went back to the picture, and I looked at the chart and saw that all of the children of Israel.
Mr. Friedman is
But
a
who was in the
former
lineage?
Jew, and I mean a former Jew.
The tribe of Judah.
He has fought the communist world conspiracy tooth and nail.
The tribe of
stands
Judah
today as a leading
in the
American
lineage.
patriot. We now take.
Now, once again, if anyone disagrees, that's fine. I mean, you can comment, you can type, you can call. It makes no difference. You can do whatever. This is an open forum. This is the Watchman. Anyone wants to call in, go ahead and call in. Anyone want to comment, go ahead and comment. But always remember that it's the truth. And the truth is the truth. No matter if you want to believe it or not. Believe it or not, you can. Now, we're going to dig deeper in this thing. And this will shift things in your life. It will shift the way you think. It will shift the way you act. Some will deny, won't accept it. Because for so long we've been told what to think, what to wear, how to live. We don't even know who we are. We would rather believe a lie than believe the truth. We'd rather believe a lie than believe the truth. Once again, like I said, we're gonna go into this. I'm gonna present this case. Like I said, biblically, geographically, and historically, and scientific evidence. I'm going to lay it out And for you to believe it, it's up to you to believe it and receive it or not. Like I said, grab some pencil and paper, pencil and pen and paper, hey, however you want to call it, typewriter, cell phone, to take notes. But please take notes. Please take notes. Because this stuff here is getting deep. It's real. It's getting deep. Now, let's go off into this here. My slides keep moving on me. I got to readjust them. So that's what I'm doing. Now, this is what we're going to talk about.
The speaker is
We're going to go in deep with this. Go with the Jews of the day. That's one topic. The children of the prophets.
Mr. Friedman is
Another
a former
topic.
Jew,
And
I
then
mean a former Jew.
we're going to hit on something that
He
says,
has
so
fought the
what?
communist world conspiracy
Because there are some
male
people,
and stands
there are some people that are saying right now, so what? They might say, so what? So what? So what? So what? So what? And I say to them, yes, so what? But if you have the knowledge, maybe a lot of the violence, the murders, the crime, the police on police brutality, the racism, all the stuff that's going on in the country, people can get a better idea of what's going on, and knowing that we're in the last days, and we are, and the Watchman's job is to blow the horn, is to let the people know that God is on his way back. He's sending his son back, and through sending his son, you must be saved. Can these things be stopped? No. Can these things be altered? No. Because as you know that these things have been happening for so long, even with the we as a people being in this country for so long, that did it go back to the way it was? Did we go back to where it was? No. Just know that it's not going to go back. Just know that all we have to do now is become knowledgeable on what is happening, and become knowledgeable on what had happened. Now, you know, as a preacher, as a man of God, I can preach forgiveness, God's love, how great he is. I can get you emotional. I can get you emotional, but that's not my job. A man of God preached yesterday, and he hit on some points. Minister Griffin hit on some points when he said that everybody's preaching style, everybody's ministry is different, and he alluded to the fact that he's not an end time preacher like myself, and he knows his style of preaching. So everybody has a style of preaching. God has given everybody a different way of presenting his gospel, presenting his word. So therefore, because you don't agree with the way I say it, all I say is look it up in the book. Brother Gridiron says, sorry, bro. He's at work. Catch me on YouTube. Oh, yes, by the way, this episode and future episodes and past episodes are on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and check them out. It's called the Watchman channel on YouTube. And I stated before that this episode, this is a series, because I can't get all of this. I'm going to try to get all that I've done today in this tonight. But it is so much information that it cannot be done in one night. So I implore you guys to bring on your friends, bring in your relatives to watch this. If they can't watch it on Facebook, tell them to go watch it on YouTube, because this stuff here will change minds. This stuff here will let people know that how things are the way they are now, how they got this way, why they are this way, and how to move forward in this way. Jerome Queen, bless you for coming in, brother. Thank you for joining. Those who are still there, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Let me know you're still listening. Let me know you're still with me. Those of you who are still there. All right. Now, back to the lesson. We're going to
The
work
speaker is Mr.
through
Benjamin Friedman.
these
Noted authority
things
on
here.
Zionism and all of its schemes.
We're going to
Mr.
go
Friedman is a former
to
Jew,
the Jews
and
today.
I mean a former Jew. He has fought the communist war.
The Jews today. Now, I don't know why my slides keep moving on me like that.
The speaker is Mr. Benjamin
The
Friedman.
Jews
Noted
today.
authority on Zionism and all of its.
The Jews living in Israel today
Mr.
are
Friedman is a
not the
former
original
Jew,
children
and I mean
of
a
the prophets
former
of the
Jew.
Bible.
He has fought the
The Jews in
war
Israel today are
conspiracy
really
to send
called
males, and
Khazarian
stands today as a
or
leading American patriot.
Ashkenazi.
We now take you to the speaker.
They are Khazarians or Ashkenazi. And by them being Khazarians and Ashkenazis, they are come on. This is where
The
they're
speaker
from.
is Mr. Benjamin Friedman.
Khazaria.
Noted authority on
That's
Zionism and all of its.
Khazaria. That is, you see
Mr.
where it
Friedman
says
is a
the
former
Holy Roman
Jew, and
Empire
I mean a
in
former
Sweden.
Jew.
That's over
He
in
has fought
Europe.
the communist world conspiracy to send
Khazaria
males,
was
stands today as a leading American
over in
patriot.
Europe.
We now take you to the speaker's
Was.
platform to present
So
Benjamin
so
Friedman.
there for them being
The
the
Zionists and the
Khazarian
rule United
are the
States as though
Ashkenazis.
they were the absolute monarchs of
This is
Now you say, well, that's a very broad statement.
Ashkenazi. Ashkenazi Hebrews. This is who they are. Now, I want you guys to do your research. I'm just presenting information. That is the job of the Watchman. Is just to present information, not to try to get people to understand or to convert or to change the ways to get you to understand that these are facts. This is the truth. You know, it's that Ashkenazis in Hebrew refers to Germany, and Ashkenazi Jews are those who originated in Eastern Europe. They are the European Jews, which the Bible spoke about being a when the Bible in Revelation said this is what Christ looked like. Also it said about this is the people, the 12 tribes of Israel. Now remember I told you to keep in mind, look at the bottom, on the bottom row, the second from the bottom, the Ashers, which is Ashkenazi, that's their tribe. So if they're from Khazaria and the Ashkenazi Jews, how did they get to become the Jews of Israel? Because as you see, the land that they're in, and the land that they were from is not there anymore, is over in Europe. Over in Europe. So therefore, you can, like I said, you can believe it or you cannot believe it. Now, there was a man by the name of what's his name again? Arthur Kessler. Arthur Kessler. He wrote a book called The 13th Tribe. he gives in the book that he says the year that the Khazarians converted to Judaism was in 47 AD under King Bulan. Under King Bulan, which is the king of the Khazarian nation. So if King Bulan was the ruler and King Bulan is the ruler, and they were, I'm sorry, y'all. My slides are shifted on me, so I gotta make sure I get them correctly and straight again. I have so many slides that they just moved, they shifted on me. There we go. King Bulan of Khazaria. See where it says 740 AD? That's the year they converted to Judaism. But King Bulan, his country was in between the Christian Empire and the Muslims. Now, if you look at it, the Khazarian nation was actually also in the Caucasus Mountains. And being in the Caucasus Mountains, that's where a lot of them come from, which in turn shows you that the Caucasus Mountains is over in Russia, Turkey, over in the same nation of Khazaria. Look, so therefore, if that's the case, then the Caucasus Mountains is where they come from, which hence the word Caucasian. The word Caucasian comes from the Caucasus Mountains. Now, I want people also to understand that all this information, like I said, can be fact-checked. It can be. It's out there, because if I can find it, so can you. So King Bulan, he was told, okay, well, since you're running things, you need to decide on which God you want to choose. You want to choose a God of Christianity, or because his country, his people was worshiping pagans and false gods, and he was told to choose a God, either Christian or Muslim. But King Bulan was like, he don't want to do neither. And he asked, was there a choice B, an alternative, an A, B, or C? He asked if there was a choice B. And he was told that, there is. And he said because he can't convert, because if he converted, he couldn't do business. If he became a Christian, he would not be able to do business with the Muslims. And if he became a Muslim, he would not be able to do business with Christians. So he decided to say, so he asked, is there option B? And he was told that Judaism was available, which by that time, it was already in place that Judah was becoming taken over. So then they adopted Judaism in 740 AD. So when they converted, they started to change their names to Joseph, to Mary, such as like that, Joseph and Mary. And they had also using Hebrew names as well. They were bringing in Hebrew names. They also brought in real rabbis and real teachers to teach them the culture and the traditions of the Jewish traditions. when he was asked about their bloodline, because a real Jew wrote him a letter asking him, "Hey, who is your people? What is your bloodline? Who is your people? And what is your bloodline?" Well, he wrote back to say, "Well, my bloodline," because King Joseph, he wrote back, and he wrote back to him, and he said this here. He said, "King Joseph then proceeded to provide a genealogy of his people." Now, King Joseph was the ruler of Khazaria then. So when they converted over to Judaism, King Joseph was asked a question: "Who is your people? What's your genealogy?" And he said that King Joseph said, "Then proceeds to provide a genealogy of his people through fierce Jewish nationalists, proud of wielding the scepter of Judea." And listen here. He cannot and does not claim them Semitic descent. He traces his history, their ancestors, back to Noah's, not Noah's son Shem, but to Noah's son Japheth. Now, Noah's son Japheth. Now, see, it says he traces their ancestry not to Shem, but to Noah's son Japheth. Now, if you look at this chart right here, it'll tell us who were the descendants of Japheth, which are Europe and Asia. And you see that the Hamites were Southwest Asia, Canaan, and Africa. But the Shemites were Middle East Shemites. So that's where we as a people come from. Now, like I said before, I like for you people. I like somebody to let me know what's going on. Give me some feedback. Let me know if you're interested. Let me know you're intrigued. Let me know, my brother Maury Scott. Bless you for coming in, brother. Let me know that this is interesting to you. Let me know. Give me some positive. I take positive and negative feedback. I just want to see some feedback at this moment. If anybody's online, just give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. So with that, he said, the real Israel are from Shem. And the Khazars and the Khazarians, they were a real fierce nation. They were a fighting nation. But being a fighting nation, they were so powerful that other nations had to get permission from them to go to war with other nations. They were just that powerful. Now the Khazarians, they were also business people. They were good with business. They understood the art of being business. But the Khazarians, they got defeated by the Rus people. The Rus, R-U-S, the Rus people. The Rus people are Russians. They got defeated by the Russians, which also be called Vikings. They came in and demolished the Khazarians. Now, after that, then came to be that Genghis Khan had came in and wiped the rest of them out. the rest of the country. But those who left, they scattered throughout Europe. They scattered throughout Europe. And they went through all parts of Europe because that's where they were from. They went through all the parts of Europe, throughout Europe, as you see. Now, let's do this here. I want you to look at that map and then look at this map coming up. Now I'm going to switch back and forth through these two maps because I want you guys to look at these maps. Okay, now look at that map. Look at that map. Now, look at where you see Italy, the boot heel of Italy in this map. Now look at the boot on Italy on this map. You will see where Khazaria is on this map. Now, look at this map, and where can you find Khazaria on this map? You're right. Ukraine, Poland, Bolivia, Hungary, Bulgaria. So therefore, they're not from Israel. They didn't come from Israel. They came from Khazaria, which was also called Austro-Nazis. So they and even though they came in from Europe, I mean, they scattered out through Europe. They can be traced. The Khazarian people can be traced back to World War I and World War II. And remember, they were business people. They were good at it too. They were good at what they did. They were and they picked up a trade while in Europe, which was banking. Now, when they scattered about Europe, the Khazarians, Austro-Nazis, as you saw, the Austro-Nazis, and the Khazarians, same people. Now, when they took up business, when they scattered throughout Europe, they took up the trade of business because they stuck together. They believe in. They're not like us. They're not like us. No. We won't stick together at all. No matter how well a person is doing, we won't stick together at all because if you think about it, if you look at Facebook, now let me put a pin right there for a second. If you look on Facebook and you see all the foolishness that's going on that people put out there, they get 100,000, 200,000, million views. But stuff like this get very few views, if any, because we want to be entertained. That's it. We don't want the truth. We want things that tickle our ears. We want to hear things, see stuff that entertain us. That's how we are. We are easily entertained. And we entertain each other by foolishness. I say time and time again that when stuff goes out that is profound, that is educational, that is encouraging, uplifting, and edifying, people, we won't support it. But we will feed off into negativity. We'll feed off into that and let that be our daily focus. So if we feed off into negativity, because of the negativity, it keeps negative thoughts. It keeps negative feelings. It keeps negative continents in your body. We have to start to look at the Bible. We have to start going back to the Bible and look at the Bible and see what the Bible says about disobedience, the blessings for being obedient, and the curses for being disobedient. We as a people, We as a people are the people of the Bible of the Old Testament, which leads to say that by us not being obedient, the world is running amok. Because we are allowing things to happen. We are allowing, if we were to stand up and say, hey, let us take our rightful place in the eyes of God, maybe, just maybe, things might change. But it won't, because that's Bible. We are a stiff-necked people. We always will, and we always are. We always will be stiff-necked people. It might mean something like that. We were stiff-necked in Israel. We were stiff-necked in the wilderness. We were stiff-necked when it came to Noah. We were stiff-necked when Christ came the first time, and we crucified him. So we're stiff-necked now. We are followers. We are a following people. We follow behind anything that looks good, sound good, that's presented to us that is good. I'm going too far. Let me reel myself back in. Let me reel myself in. So now, Brother Harris, Watchman, bless you for coming in, man. Ola Mackenzie Phillips, bless you for coming in. Carla Johnson, bless you for coming in. Bless you. Now, with the Khazarians, like I said, they can be traced back to World War I and World War II. Like I said, they were business people. They picked up the trade in Europe of banking. They began to lend money to people all across the country, all across the nation. Then they got to thinking like, man, we're making a lot of money dealing with these people. But we can make a lot more loaning money to kings, queens, and princesses. Prince, plural. So they began to lend money to kings and queens. They said, wow, we're lending money to kings and queens. We should lend money to nations. Those who go to war will lend money to nations to fund their war. We'll let them borrow money from us to fund their war. So now, that comes to what the next part of this is. It's called the Balfour Declaration. The Balfour Declaration. Now, people, get your pens, keep your pens, your paper, your typewriter, your pencil, write this stuff down. Look it up, write it down, look it up for yourself. Just don't take my word for it. I want you to fact check what I'm saying. Because I told you guys time and time again before, I said I consider myself a disciple of Christ. I don't like saying I'm a Christian, only because, let me repeat myself, let me clarify myself, because apparently I was misunderstood once before for saying this. No one asked me what I meant. They just assumed what I said was what I said. They cared not to get clarity on what I said. So now they believe that what I said is what I said. And when I say, I don't like saying Christian, because the name, the word and the name is so cliche-ish now, that when you mention the word Christian to people that don't go to church or that's not saved, they're like, oh, so what? I party with Christians last night. I party with Christians all the time. I smoke and drink with Christians, so what? Christians what? So how can you be held accountable? This is me. This is linearology. How can I be held accountable if I say I'm a Christian? People look at me like, okay, well, you're a Christian, so what? But if I use a term like a disciple of Christ, then they're going to say, well, he has separated himself from Christian, but he's saying he's a Christian, but he wants to be held accountable as a true Christian, as a real Christian, because you got fake Christians out there. You got some fake Christians out there. Fake Christians out there. Fake Christians out there. And do you know that church folk is just as bad as worldly folk? Because look at it, church folk are the same people that the worldly folks are. They just say that they're Christian. You got gossiping, you got backstabbing, you have cliques in church. You have little groups in church that nitpick little things and talk about people and don't get a clear understanding of what's going on before they start running their mouth. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is in every single church. There's not one church in the world that don't have some of that in it. But let me tell you something. God is not coming back for a religion. He's not coming back for tradition. He's not coming back for a denomination. He's coming back for those who believe in him for real. So these lessons here, they're not for Baptists. They're not for Muslim. They're not just for Baptists. They're not just for Muslim. They're not just for Hebrew Israelite. They're not just for Catholics. They're not just for Jehovah's Witnesses. They're not just for Mormons. They're not just for Church of God in Christ. It is for everybody, every living person who is a child of God. Scratch out denomination. Scratch out religion. Scratch out tradition. Scratch all that, kick that to the side, and start doing what thus said the Lord, because he's coming for that particular person. All right. Brother Renville Bell, thank you for joining in, brother. But back to the Balfour Declaration. Now, what that is this here. Once the Khazarians, they picked up the trade of banking in all throughout Europe. Now, like I said, the Khazarians and the Ashkenazi, they are the Jews in Israel right now. So which in turn, they are not the original people of the Old Testament. They are settlers. They are squatters. They are God's people too. They are God's people regardless of the fact. That doesn't change. But what the fact of it is they took our nationality from us. Now, the Khazarians, Ashkenazis, when Genghis Khan and the Rus people, which were the Russians, when they decimated the Khazarian nation, like I said, they fled all throughout Europe. And throughout Europe, they had adopted the practice of banking. So they were loaning money to people at a high interest rate and getting paid. So they realized that, look, we make more money by loaning money to kings and queens, which worked for them. They loan money to kings and queens, then they end up owing them all their money. So then they said, well, let's lend money to nations. If they're going to war, we can fund their war and get paid from that as well. So as they was loaning money to countries, they were at that high interest rate. Then they decided to say, well, we own you because you can't pay us back. So now we own you. But America can't laugh because America is a part of that now as well. As you know, America is not America. America is the United States of the world. Try that on for size. United States of the world. So now, with the Khazarian people loaning money to nations, and England looked up and they owed the Ashkenazis, the Khazarians, all their money. So in World War I, England was about to lose the war. England was about to lose the war. And this is where the Balfour Declaration come in at. England was about to lose the war. And Germany had already won. And England was backing up. So they was like, Russia was backing out, France backed out. So England Germany was like, hey, look, let's have a peace treaty. Let's just call it off. Let's just stop fighting, call a peace treaty, things go back to the way it was, and we go on about the business. That's fine. As England was thinking about that, the Khazarians went over to England and said, look, we can help you win the war. We can help you win the war. Now, a lot of this can be fact checked by researching a man called Benjamin Friedman. Benjamin Friedman, you can look him up. Benjamin Friedman, he has a audio out where he's talking about this stuff, and I have the audio. I'm going to play a little bit of it at the end of this episode, so you can hear that I have been doing my research. I have it's 40 minutes long, but I'm not going to play the entire 40 minutes. I'm going to give you just about 2 minutes of it, just so you know that it is real. This is Benjamin Friedman. That's Benjamin Friedman. The Khazarians had asked England that they told England that we will help you win the war, but if you sign a Balfour Declaration. A Balfour Declaration. And it was like, how can you help us win the war with the United States? He said, well, okay. They said, well, we can get United States to come and help you fight because they owe us. They're in our pocket. So since they owe us, we can make them do whatever we want them to do. Now, like I said, this is going to be a series. 3, 2, 3, maybe 4 episodes. And as time goes on through these episodes, I'm going to present more facts and more evidence on this. So bear with me on all episodes of The Watchmen. But England was like, how can you get America to help? And the Khazarians said, hey, they owe us. So therefore, Ashkenazis, they're not Khazarians no more at this time. They're Ashkenazis now because the Khazarians got wiped out by Genghis Khan and the Rus people, which is Russians. So now they're scattered. Now the people, the country was Khazaria, but people are Ashkenazis. Okay? So now the Ashkenazis, they told them, said, look, we will help you win the war. We get the United States to join in, and they will help you win the war, but if you sign the Balfour Declaration. What is a Balfour Declaration? What is a Balfour Declaration? Now, a Balfour Declaration is where they had asked England, they said, we will help you win the war if you give us Israel. If you give us Israel, the Ashkenazis told England, if you give us Israel, we will help you win the war. And the Balfour Declaration is just that, what it is, that they signed a declaration saying they will give them Israel. Now, Ashkenazis are the Khazarians. The Khazarians come from the European nation of the European nation. See, there's Italy, there's Khazaria, and Italy, Khazaria, they're all in the nation, they're all in the European nation. And you see, we see Bulgaria, Yugoslavia, which is all Russia. So that's where they came from. So now they said that we will help you win the war, England, if you give us Europe. Now, which also, like I said, in it now you can also see that that even though they also were in the Caucasus Mountains, because you can see where Turkey is, you see Russia. You see in between Russia and Georgia, you can see the Caucasus Mountains. And the Caucasus Mountains, it's called Caucasus, I'm sorry. The Caucasus Mountains, which the word Caucasian came from. The word Caucasian came from the Caucasus Mountains. I want to thank Carmen Bosley Hudson for coming in. My man Steve Kennan, thank you for coming in. Hey people, thank you for coming in. And thank you all those who commented. Hey, I would like for you guys to comment. Like I said time and time again, you can call in. The number is 816-200-0078. That's 816-200-0078. Call in, text in your comment. I'm trying to get to it. Brother Harris said, be true to the word. Yes, sir, I'm trying to do that. He also said, please share this message. He is a true man of God, and he is a watchman, and he is on the wall as well. Bless you, man of God. Now, as you see, that they come from the Caucasus Mountains. You see the Caucasus Mountains. You saw Khazaria, and you saw that they're over in Europe. So now those are the Ashkenazis. They're also part of the 12 tribes, but their skin tone hadn't changed until they went to the Caucasus Mountains. That's when the skin tone changed. Because I'm put this out there. Everybody was dark-skinned once upon a time. Everybody was dark-skinned once upon a time. We had the melanin in their skin, that which is a protectant. Once upon a time. But when you get into cold weather, year after year, century after century, your skin becomes light and you lose your pigment. You lose your melanin. That's one of the reasons why they say black don't crack. Because. Oh, and one more thing. Another thing before I go on further. I want you to, I want you people to please encourage your kids. If they don't go outside much, encourage them to go outside. Because now I'm doing a research on this. This is going to come down the line a bit. I'm going to research this on the effects of lack of vitamin D in the skin of the African American people. I heard that it causes the breakdown of melanin, you know what I mean, causes the breakdown of melanin, and therefore cancers and skin disease and diseases can be affected by that. Now, I'm going to research that. I'm going to dig deep into that. I'll let you guys know, but just just be on the safe side. Encourage your kids to go outside, get some sunlight. Vitamin D and orange juice, it's not cutting it. We need those sun rays to hit the skin to replenish the melanin in the skin. The darker the skin, the more melanin, the more protected it is. Not that tanning booth stuff. Not that tanning booth. That's ultraviolet rays. That's fake sun, like fake people, fake Christians, fake Jews, fake people, fake sun. Like I said, people, this is gonna. I'm already ostracized. I'm already blackballed, and this is gonna make it happen even more for me. I don't mind, because for God I live, and for God I die. I gotta get through. I gotta keep on going. I'm already in an hour, but I want to get this particular lesson done. Whew. Come on, people, roll with me. Let's go. Now, I mentioned to you about Benjamin Friedman. He was the. Let me pull this picture back up again. Okay. I got to figure out why my photos and my pictures keep readjusting. But this is Benjamin Friedman. Benjamin Friedman. He was an Oscar Nazi. He did a he did a talk. He did a interview, well, you want to call it whatever, where he talked about a lot of this what I'm talking about. And he was one of the top richest men in the Oscar Nazi organization. He was very, very powerful as an Oscar Nazi, as a Khazarian. Because like I said, that's where they come from. They come from Khazaria. Khazaria is over in the Caucasus Mountains, where Europe is, and the Europeans are actually, they're the ones over in Israel. They're not the true Jews. Okay, so in saying that, we are moving along with Benjamin Friedman. Like I said, he's one of the top richest men in the organization. And they protect each other. This dude met with presidents, kings, and queens. He sat in on treaties when they were signed. He was with the elite. When I say the elite, I'm referring to Lord Walter Rothschild. Lord Walter Rothschild, was the leader of the Austro-Nazi lineage over in Europe. This is a letter from the Balfour Agreement that they sent to him, saying that they will give them Israel if they help them win the war. If they help them win the war. But nevertheless, Benjamin Friedman, he was an Austrian Nazi who turned Christian. Now, mind you, he was like in the 1%. Now, if you want to, you can say Illuminati, you can say elite, because you just saw. I'm gonna put it back up. That letter to Lord Walter Rothschild, the first Rothschild that started all the money banking. So well, not the first, but he was real instrumental as a Rothschild, being a Rothschild. But Benjamin Friedman, he turned over to Christianity. And he started realizing, like, man, this stuff ain't cool. What's going on? So he blew the whistle In 1961, he did a press conference. And in his press conference, he has said that let me read it. It said that his people are not the real people of the book. We are Khazarian, Ashkenazi, not the true people of the book. He also admits that they run the United States, the people he is working with, and some American people that sold out. This is in his press conference that I'm going to show a clip of in a few minutes. But this is the letter to Lord Walter Rothschild, telling him that they will give that signing the declaration saying that, okay, we will give you Israel, Ashkenazis, Khazarians, we will give you the European Jews, we will give you Israel if you help us win the war. But back to the Balfour Declaration. Now, I showed you that how they took our name, and as time to come, I'm going to show you how they took the land. I showed you how they took our name, and I touched on how they took the land. But next week, I'm gonna go in and show you how they took the land. How they took the land, because if they're not the people, and how they end up in the land? If they're not the true people, how did they end up in the land? When you have the land, it is very easy to say you are that people because you're in that land. If you're in the land, it's very easy to say that you're the people if you're in that land. Let's do that. That's like Americans saying that they're Indians. Through history, we know that this is the land of the Indians. So we can't call ourselves Indians because they're the natives of this land. That America, that the Europeans took from the Indians, which Ashkenazis, which Khazarians, took from the Indians. So therefore, if help me out here. If this is the land of the Indians, and we can't call ourselves Indians, how can you go into another country and say you're those people if you weren't the original people? Therefore, if you're not Hebrew, then you're only living in the land of the Hebrew. People, I'm about to shut this thing down. But Mademoiselle Johnson, bless you for coming in. Thank you for coming. Dominique, son, thank you for coming in. I'm about to shut it down. But go back on YouTube. Hey, listen here, people. Those who are coming in late, I want you to go back on YouTube because my post is on YouTube. Go on YouTube and look at this episode and previous episodes, because these episodes is very educational, encouraging, empowering, edifying, and so therefore, and equipping God's people. Go back on YouTube, which is the Watchman channel on YouTube. and watch past episodes. Watch this episode, because this series is going to be the 4 episodes long. Because now, like I said, I just told you how the Ashkenazi Khazarians, how they stole the name. Stole our name. Next week I'm going to tell you how they stole the land. But before then, I told you that I have a video. I do have a video of Benjamin Friedman, who was an Ashkenazi, and a Khazarian. Khazarian is the race of people. Once again, Khazarian was the country, Khazaria. The Ashkenazis are the people. So he was an Ashkenazi that turned Christian and blew the whistle on all this was going on. And Lord Walter Rothschild ran everything back then, which Walter Rothschild was a Ashkenazi, which were and are part of the elite family, the Rothschilds, which they own the banking system. Is it all ringing a bell? Is it all coming to you right now? But like I said, I'm going to let you see this video. Let you see this video of Benjamin Friedman. It's an audio, not a video. It's a video of an audio. I want you to listen to it. And if anybody wants a copy of this audio or a copy of the Illuminati, the plans they have, holla at your boy. I got it for you. Check this out.
The speaker is Mr. Benjamin Friedman, noted authority on Zionism and all of it.
Wait a minute. Let me adjust this. Let me adjust this right quick, because apparently, like I said, my stuff keeps going out of whack on me. I want to make sure that you guys can see all of this, not just part of this, because this is some deep stuff. As I do that, look at this right here. I want you to read this letter if you can. Just read that letter.
The speaker is Mr. Benjamin Friedman,
of Lord Rothschild.
noted authority on Zionism and all of its schemes. Mr. Friedman is a former Jew, and I mean a former Jew.
Well, I know you can hear that. Let me.
Conspiracy tooth and nail.
I don't want to do that either. I don't want to do that either. Let's do this here. Let's do this here. Okay, because I want to make sure that you guys really see this here. Come on. Okay. Bear with me, people. Please bear with me, because this junk keeps closing up on me. Let's do that there then. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Check it out.
The speaker is Mr. Benjamin Friedman, noted authority on Zionism and all of its schemes. Mr. Friedman is a former Jew, and I mean a former Jew. He has fought the communist world conspiracy tooth and nail, and stands today as a leading American patriot. We now take you to the speaker's platform to present Benjamin Friedman.
The Zionists and their co-religionists rule this United States as though they were the absolute monarchs of this country. Now you say, well, that's a very broad statement to make, but let me show what happened while you were... I don't want to wear that out. Let me show you what happened while we were all asleep. I'm including myself with you. We were all asleep. What happened? World War I broke out in the summer of 1914. The Zionists in London went to the British War Cabinet and they said, look here, you can yet win this war. You don't have to give up. You don't have to accept a negotiated peace offered to you now by Germany. You can win this war if the United States will come in as your ally. The United States was not in the war at that time. We were fresh, we were young, we were rich, we were powerful. And they told England, we will guarantee to bring the United States into the war as your ally, to fight with you on your side, if you will promise us Palestine after you win the war. In other words, they made this deal. We will get the United States into this war as your ally. The price you must pay us is Palestine after you have won the war and defeated Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Turkey.
Good people, my time has come to an end. And like I said, knowledge is power. And it is time to just move forward. It is time to understand that God is not playing. We have to dig deep into the Word and find out what God is really talking about, and who He's talking about. Like this isn't to shun any people. This isn't to shun anybody, to put anybody down, to belittle anyone. But like I said in the beginning, God says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. So we have to be prepared for what He means by that. What He means by that is lack of knowledge, lack of knowing destroys people. We are His people. And if we were to get back into the book, things would change. But like I said, once again, this is Minister Leonard McKenzie. I am a watchman. I will be here every Monday. Every Monday at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. every Monday until God tells something different or until they shut me down. But go back on YouTube, look at it, check it out, and let people know what's going on. Once again, it's Leonard McKenzie, Minister Leonard McKenzie. I'm the Watchman. Holla back at y'all. Peace.